Hey, everybody, welcome back to the next episode of the Balanced Vibes podcast. I am your host, Kirsten. As you probably already know, we are doing a mini series talking about reverse dieting and all the details. Probably, if you've had a question about reverse dieting, then I will probably answer your question here during the next three episodes. The first one, if you didn't hear that yet, please go ahead and check it out. In this episode, I'm talking about what is a reverse diet and who needs it. And today we're going to talk about the duration of a reverse diet and also who will recover, let's go recover faster, and who will need a little bit more time. By the way, when I say recover, it's actually not exactly correct because there's nothing to recover from. Your metabolism isn't broken. It is just adapted to that low calories that you have been taking in. And now we just have to increase that metabolic rate, and it's totally doable. So you're not broken. Let me guarantee that. Before I get into today's topic, I want to remind you that my metabolic reset program, which is essentially a reverse dieting program, DIY, do it yourself, is on sale right now until January 15th, 2023. And the reason why I'm doing this is that this is my birthday week and I'm giving you 38% off. You can guess why the number is 38. 38% off of this regular price. So if you know that you are the person who needs a reverse diet, go ahead and read the notes on this program. Check out the link that is everywhere. It's YouTube description, show notes, my blog, on Instagram, everywhere where I am, Facebook as well, of course. So go read and make sure that you understand everything correctly and know that this program is for you. But if you're not sure, I hope that you listen to the first part of this three-part mini-series where I describe the person very closely who needs this program. And if this is you, I highly, highly recommend that you check out this program because it will change your life. It will get you to a much better place. You're going to be so much healthier. And if you want to lose weight and body fat, then this will be doable for you and it will be finally healthy, right? We're not going to be starving here. We don't want to do more damage to our bodies, right? We want to do it in a healthy way. So check out my metabolic reset program. Today, we're going to talk about how long is your reverse diet going to be, and also will you gain weight? And we're going to talk about weight a little bit more because this is, of course, the scariest part of all of it. Right. So reverse diet, as you know, just a really quick recap is what we need if our body has adapted, our metabolism has adapted to low calorie eating. So maybe we've been dieting a lot and now we have to start increasing our calories to get the body to a healthy place again so that every system in the body can upregulate. We can feel normal again. We can feel healthy again. And we can prepare our bodies for a healthy fat loss, weight loss later if we still have that goal. Now, the question is, how long is it going to take? And how do you know how much time do I personally need? So let me tell you that on average, and this is on average, the reverse diet will take about 6 months. Now, this is not everybody. I have seen people doing a reverse diet, increasing their calories to a healthy maintenance place way faster than that. Some people have only needed, say, 2 months for that. Some people can even do it in 6 months. And I'm telling you what it depends on in a second. And I've also seen it happening or needing more time. If the person has been really over dieted, the metabolic rate is really, really low currently, then they're going to need more time. So 6 months is really the average. And I know it may sound like, oh my goodness, I cannot do this. This is too much. This is too long. I want to get into calorie deficit. I want to start losing body fat. I need everything by yesterday. Then with this approach, you're not going to get too far. Let me tell you where you're going to get in this with this approach. If you want to get everything by yesterday, you're going to jump on the next diet, quick fix that will hopefully, help you lose body fat, body weight, but you're not going to get the result. And I've seen this. I've talked to people who are like, yeah, I know I need to do this reverse diet, but right now I'm going to go into, I have a vacation coming up in 2 months and I have to get in shape for that. So I'm going to go and do this calorie cut. And I know that they're not going to get result from it, but they don't know. And I'm trying to, help them and tell them how it's going to go, but they don't believe me. They don't trust me. They think they're going to do their own thing. And they always come back. They always come back. They're like, you know what? It didn't work. I felt worse. I wasn't able to lose anything, or maybe I lost 1 or 2 pounds and now I got 10 back. And that's the issue here, because if you are in a rush, you're never going to get anything good out of it. Just today, just randomly right now remembered I was listening to my Spanish lessons. I told you, some of you probably know that I started learning Spanish, and the teacher said, after level 5, I want you to go back and revisit everything and go over everything again, because those who rush are usually going to fail, right? They're not going to learn the language. They're not going to memorize the things they need to memorize. They're not going to get fluent because they were just rushing. They're going over things really quickly, not really paying attention, just having this outcome in their mind quickly, quickly, quickly. I want to be fluent in Spanish, in 3 months, which we all know it's impossible. And the same is true for dieting too. If you want to get results, but you are right now in this deep hole where your metabolism is really low and you're thinking, oh, let me just cut a little bit more and get to the end result really, really quickly, it's not going to work. You have to put in the work. You have to do the reverse diet. Before that, you literally have to earn the right to do a calorie cut. I know it sounds totally weird, right? What do you mean? But you have to have a solid metabolism that can handle that calorie cut. You just cannot jump from eating 1,500 to 1,400. Where are you going to go? Eating 1,000? And maybe you lose a little bit of weight, but it will come back, because no adult woman, especially physically active, can sustain that without causing terrible health effects and just like dieting themselves to a corner. So this is why I'm saying that you're going to need a lot of patience. And if you say that 6 months, that sounds really, really terrible, I cannot wait, then I'm going to ask you, where do you want to be 1 year from now? Because 1 year from now, you could already have the fat loss result that you want to get. But what I can guarantee you, you're not going to have it in 2 months, no matter how quickly, how much you're willing to cut your calories right now. So stay patient. Please stay patient and get started with this reverse diet if you're constantly over dieted and you know that you need this change. So 6 months is the average. Some people get there faster. Some people are going to need more time. So what does it all then depend on? So let me tell you who is going to go their calories up to a healthy place faster and who will heal their metabolism. Again, I used it again. I didn't mean to say it. I don't want to say heal their metabolism, but you understand, who can get their metabolism to a higher place faster and who will have a shorter duration to their reverse diet. Well, these are the people who have more muscle mass on their body. So they have done resistance training. They haven't done all that much cardio or like boot camps or that kind of high impact, high intensity stuff. They have actually built muscle. They will have better results and they will need less time in this reverse diet, because when we start increasing their calories, because they have muscle in the body, they naturally have a little bit higher metabolic rate, and these new calories are going to be used quickly, and they're not going to experience that same amount of weight gain as somebody who doesn't have much muscle mass on the body will. The second person who is going to get away with it a little bit faster is a person who has spent less time in a calorie deficit. So in other words, the more over dieted you are, the more diets you have done, the longer it's going to take you. If you just did like a quick little thing, let's say a couple of months, then you're going to recover super, super quickly. If you're somebody who has done diet after diet, kept themselves in low calorie place for months and sometimes years, let alone decades, you're going to need more time because your metabolism is just in a much lower place. The next person who's going to get away with less time is a person whose deficit has been smaller. So when we compare to two people, let's say somebody who's been eating 1,700 calories, it's still been too low for her. And then we compare her to somebody who's been eating 1,000, then the one who's been eating 1,700 is maybe only going to need some weeks to build up to, let's say, 2,200 or something like that, which is like hypothetical, let's say, their maintenance point. Of course, you have to understand that the numbers that I'm using here is not talking about anybody specifically. I'm just using some examples here. But the person who has been in a deeper calorie cut is going to need more time. Then those who have who take more steps, who walk more, who move their bodies on a regular basis more often, will also have shorter duration to their reverse diet. They need less time, and those who are very sedentary will need longer. And also those who track their calories better, track their macros better throughout this process of reverse dieting will get better results and will need less time. So I really recommend that you don't go crazy and just go like all in and eat whatever crap, just million calories at once. You're not going to get very good results with that. Also, you're probably going to gain more weight than what you wanted. So I really recommend that you do it the way I teach in my programs, in my one-on-one coaching, and also in my metabolic reset program, that you increase gradually and that you track your macros while you're going through this process of reverse dieting. So those people will then recover a little bit faster. Those who have more muscle, who have dieted less frequently, whose calorie cuts have been smaller, if they take more steps, if they walk more, and if the tracking is on point, they're going to get to the other side a little bit faster. Okay, next point that's probably very interesting to most of you is weight gain. Am I going to gain weight during this process of reverse dieting? And there's no one clear answer. I can share some percentages with you to give you an idea. But let me tell you, before I even get to those percentages, I want to tell you that you will need reverse diet anyway, either whether or not you're going to gain weight. I cannot tell you that before we get started. Are you going to gain or are you going to lose, or are you going to stay the same? Because I have seen absolutely everything in my practice. I've seen people dropping a lot of weight. One girl, and that was absolutely incredible. And she has been on the podcast too, Priscilla's. So she lost, I think, about 12 kilograms, which is amazing, absolutely incredible, about 25 pounds, I believe. She ended up losing. Absolutely fantastic, right? But also, like I mentioned, those who have more muscle mass will have that. So she had that. Then there are some people who stay exactly the same, or pretty much, plus minus a couple of pounds, they stay the same, even though their calories are way a lot. And then there's going to be people who will gain weight. And that's just how it is. That's a reality of it. I'm not going to hide it. I'm not going to use reverse dieting as a, some people use it as a, in my opinion, like wrong or misleading marketing tool, saying that everybody who goes on a reverse diet will absolutely lose weight. But it's not the case, because let me tell you now, percentages, about 50% of people gain a little bit. But don't shut down this, don't stop listening right now and run away because you might be one of them, because I'm going to tell you what this weight gain, where it's coming from. So also want to tell you that about 25% of people maintain their weight, and about 25% of people then lose a little bit of weight. So if you gain weight, if you're one of those people who gain weight, you have to understand that when you do it correctly, then the body fat gain that you may experience is going to be relatively small, or sometimes there will be no, right? But the weight gain will come from other things. So first of all, because we are increasing your carbohydrates too, the carbs that will now get stored in your glycogen in your liver and in your muscles, of course, they weigh something. So these are the new carbs that are in your body, especially if your carbs were really low before. So this is one of the things. And you actually want to have, enough carbohydrates in your liver and in your muscles stored up, because this is the energy that we use for our workouts and for our living and all that. And I've talked about it in previous podcasts too. If the carbs are too low, if you are doing keto or something similar, then your body starts breaking down your muscle mass, because it just doesn't have enough stored up in liver and muscles. There's no storage there. So in your liver, there's not enough stored in your liver, so it goes after your muscle. That's what I want to say. And it's really hard to build muscle in this state. So some of your weight gain will come from that. Some of it will also come from fluids. So you literally have more water in your body. Also, when you increase your carbohydrates, you will store more water in your body. So don't freak out. It's not necessarily fat gain. You just have to be okay. And if you cannot not wait, look at the scale, then maybe you just put the scale away for a little bit. Also, you will have more sodium in your body naturally. And we probably already know that when you have more sodium in your body, your weight will go up a little bit. If you don't know that, if you've never experienced, see what happens when you go eat Chinese food for dinner and next day you will be heavier. That's because you now have increased sodium in your body. Then another reason is that you literally have more food and fiber in your body, right? When you eat more, that food is going to weigh something, right? So it's not necessarily fat gain. And we have to calm down when we think that, oh my goodness, like every single gram that I put on is going to be fat, because it's not. And finally, what else do you gain? Hopefully, and I really hope so, that you will gain muscle as well. If you have a good, solid strength training program, which is also part of my metabolic reset program, if you gain muscle, then that will also make your body weight go up. So overall, I want to say, yes, you may gain weight. And sometimes I've seen a substantial weight gain too at the same time. And I'm talking about, like, one client specifically comes to mind right now. She has gained quite a bit of weight. All her measurements are down. And this is fantastic. Her body composition is changing because she's eating better. And remember, in the first part of this podcast, we talked about cortisol. Her cortisol is down. She's not storing so much body fat anymore. She's slowly starting to let go that. Her weight has gone up, but her measurements have gone down. And she has also started lifting heavy, and she's been really consistent with it. So of course her muscle mass has gone up as well. So this is where some of the weight gain comes to. So this is what I wanted to share today. The duration of the reverse diet. Remember, those who have more muscle and who are doing NEAT, walking, who haven't done dieted too much, whose calorie cuts haven't been too deep, they will restore their metabolism a bit faster. But and then those who haven't done those things, they will need a little bit more time. And there are people who gain weight, and there are people who maintain weight, and there are people who lose a little bit. But it's impossible to tell you exactly where you are going to be until you get started. But as I already said many times, that if you are in this place of very low metabolism, adaptive metabolism, then you're going to need this process anyway. All right, I hope this was helpful for you. So next and the last part of this mini series will be all about what happens after the reverse diet. What are your options? What can you do? And also I'm going to share with you a couple of examples from my own clients, what has happened, afterwards for them, if they chose to, maintain, to cut, all these things. So I'm going to share that in the final episode. All right, don't forget that Metabolic Reset, my DIY program for reverse diet is on sale right now until January 15th. So get it if you are interested. Thank you so much. And I'll see you in the third part of this podcast series where we talk all about reverse dieting. Until then, see you soon.